So she can hurt, possess, and can be seen by anyone. She has a tragic backstory. We see her not only as a monster, but as a sad woman. She is mentally disturbed, she is haunting, she wants something she lost in life, she wants to complete something that she failed in life, and she takes from the family, but you feel sad and happy at the same time when she's gone. Not just because she killed Lily, but because you don't really know how to feel about Mama. So, with this level of depth to the character, with story, abilities, and the ending, one has to ask, why make Mama such a complex villain? Hello everyone and welcome back to another movie analysis where I give the basic rundown of movies and critically pick them apart. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2012 movie, Mama. As was mentioned in the intro, Mama is a deep and complex character laced with symbolism and backstory that adds to her methodology, appearance, brutality, and her compassion. But why? Starting off with her backstory, Mama, or Edith Brennan, was a patient at St. Gertrude's Mental Asylum who killed a nun, took her child, and ran off a cliff and drowned. That is the shortest version possible. Her goal now is to protect Victoria and Lily long enough to sacrifice herself, along with them, to replicate the scene she died, only this time, she doesn't want to die without her, quote-unquote, children. As when she jumped the first time, her baby was tangled up in a branch. She broke her arms, and spent her last moments alive wondering what happened to her baby. What makes her complex is the type of villain she is. She is classified as a tragic misanthrope. Now, we don't see this too often, but let's break it down a bit. The tragic being that you feel sorry for her, but the misanthrope gives her a hatred for humanity, as this is kind of the definition, due to how her life and afterlife played out. She is destined to repeat her final actions, and it's the only way she can be at peace. You almost think you can like this character since we see her cry, feel her panic, and even watch and experience her death. Twice. Though her brutality is what keeps her as a constant horror factor, along with her ability to just appear out of nowhere. And her superhuman speed, as we learn near the end of the film, she can also possess, adding a new level of depth to her horror factor, except when she makes it so obvious that she's possessing them. So that factor doesn't really add to the horror effect, more like a jump scare to keep on the creepy factor. A quick factor to include is that Mama is portrayed by a total of 5 different actors throughout the film. This is the main actor. He portrayed Mama in her demonic form. She played Mama in her younger form. She played Aunt Jean, and Jean when she was possessed by Mama, and therefore another portrayal. These two both played different voices made by Mama. This variety of actors lends a new feel, an unplaceable aura around Mama. She doesn't give off the feel of one person, she moves like a combination of a few, and thanks to her various forms and voices, we get another layer of depth to the character. She also has a few passive effects that add to her creepy factor, as well as her symbolism. Probably the most noticeable thing about Mama is that wherever she goes, moths are soon to follow. Moths have a bit of a meaning in the movie, as well as symbolism in general. In the movie, they surround Mama because as a corpse, she had moths erupt from her body while floating on the lake. It is also something that Lily ate, as we see her eating moths, probably something that kept her fed while in the cabin. Quick note, this scene almost made me gag. Symbolically, moths represent concealment, vulnerability, and determination, along with a few other things, but I chose these specifically because I felt Mama showed these the most. She was always trying to sneak and hide, even leading up to the attack on Jean. She was vulnerable, as we see her crying and desperate to hold on to Lily and Veronica. And she was determined, just throughout the movie. That's a pretty big thing in the movie. Her second big trait were that holes would appear, almost like a portal, and that's exactly what they're symbolically representing, that and a void. But here, as a portal, they were a connection between places Mama is and where she can be. Much like the hole in her back where moths erupted, which is what it physically looks like. These holes have moths around them as well. Also basically showing the void that is left in her, as the movie mentions.
When a corpse is left out, the elements wither it, desiccate it. twisting it into a distorted figure that's barely recognizable as a human being, condemned to repeat itself time and time again until it rights the wrong that was done.
Which all brings us to the ending. Not ending how normal horror movies end, and where a child dies, but it means an end to the cycle. If you didn't get the ending, I'll explain it in the most basic way possible. She tried to kill herself originally with her kid, but they were separated and now she wanted to die with a child. We'll just grab that one in peace. We're out. That's it. Yeah, Annabelle was able to save Victoria, and that's cute, but Lily was still killed, and I guess she's a moth now, or something, sort of. But the complexity of the character doesn't go away from a simplistic ending. Because you're still like, do we hate her? Were we supposed to fear her? I mean, the children had a good grasp of her, and she didn't kill Annabelle and John, just knocked them out. Meaning she isn't completely evil. I think the reason behind making her complex was to deviate from the normal haunt and kill ghost we've been stuck with recently. This mixes it up. Also, these characters are much harder to pull off than their less personal counterparts. It's important to note that not every character that gets a tragic backstory is actually likable. That's just my personal opinion on that factor. Love to hear what you guys have. Anyway guys, I think that will do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and sub for more. Check out the video on the left for another analysis, and the one on the right for something completely different. I'm That Analysis Guy, and I will see you next time. Peace.